Hey guys, welcome back. This is for StarCraft 2 Strategy, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Terran strategy. Basically what we're going to be looking at is pushing out really early with a couple Marauders, a couple Marines, and an SCV. Basically what this is going to enable us to do, this is a Terran versus Protoss strategy. What this is going to enable us to do is when we push out, it's going to be before our Protoss opponent can have Warp Gate. And it is also likely to be before they have too many units. A lot of times when I personally implement this strategy, the opponent that I'm pushing out on is usually sitting on about maybe a Stalker and a Zealot, or maybe a Sentry and a Stalker and a Zealot, but usually a small amount of units when compared to the Marauders. Because Marauders are so strong versus Stalkers, and that coupled with the fact that their concussive shells allow them to kite zealots around all day, it makes this push very effective unless they kind of particularly planned for it. But even in doing so, I've had players plan for me going this strategy and still not come out on top just because of how strong it can be, mainly because of how strong Marauders are with concussive shell early on in the game versus Protoss. So we're going to be starting off with a pretty standard build order, getting that 10 supply depot followed by that 12 barracks. Before we go any further though, I just want to say that in this particular strategy video, the players that we're looking at are, the Terran player is Tony Tiger, and our Protoss opponent is Cherub Down. So again, we're going to be moving forward with our scouting SCV after we do go ahead and build that supply depot. That's typically when I personally move out my scouting SCV. It's going to give me a good base of knowledge as to what my opponent is going for. As you can see here, he does have his gateway in fact delayed because he dropped down this assimilator. And in fact, we did miss it, but he almost got a second assimilator on the other geyser as well, and that would have been absolutely devastating. But luckily, we were able to start building that refinery right before he managed to drop that second assimilator. But because he did that assimilator harass, which a lot of Terran players, a lot of Protoss players like to do versus Terran to stop him from teching up early, that did set him back a little bit in his gateway tech. But again, honestly, that is not the reason this strategy ends up being effective in this video. It just simply is so very strong, pushing out early with a couple Marines, a couple Marauders, and an SCV. And now the purpose of the SCV in this strategy, the purpose of moving forward with an SCV into our opponent's base, is it enables for a little bit more harass, obviously. It's going to allow us to do a little bit extra damage, but also it's going to give you the opportunity to place down a bunker in some sort of strategic position if that opportunity presents itself. So if you feel like you're in a position where dropping a bunker is going to be helpful to you, you have that opportunity basically. Let me go ahead. I forgot to put up the production tab, but don't worry, I'm going to go ahead and go over that build order at the end of the game, as well as posting it in the comments or in the info section at the bottom of the video. So as you can see here, we do have that one refinery up. It is fully saturated. We have attached that tech lab to our one barracks, and then we are building our second barracks right now. So we are immediately going to start researching that concussive shell, and of course we are producing our first Marauder. Now once this Marauder is done, we're going to start building our second Marauder. Once this barracks is done, we're going to put another tech lab down. And once we have 2 Marauders and these 2 Marines, that's when we're going to push forward. In this particular replay, we do move forward with only 1 SCV. I would suggest, in fact, moving forward with 2 SCVs, or possibly just keeping your scouting SCV somewhere around their base and then pulling 1 SCV from your mineral line to move forward with your push. 2 SCVs is going to double the chance of you getting down a bunker. Pretty simple math there. Basically having that extra SCV is going to release that threat of losing the 1 and then having it basically rendered ineffective, having that chance to build a bunker rendered ineffective. So here we are. We have those 2 Marauders and we have these 2 Marines, so we are going to be pushing out. Here's our scouting SCV in that forward position. So again, if I personally would go ahead and just pull 1 more SCV off the line when you do this push, just to have that extra reassurance of being able to get down that bunker, or even possibly placing 2 bunkers in 2 strategic locations. But as you can see here, I mean, this is basically what I typically see when I push forward. 1 Stalker and maybe another Zealot, or a second Stalker and possibly even a Sentry as well, but not too much typically. And that's just why it's going to be so effective. As you can see, that warp gate research still isn't done yet while we're making our push. Exactly like I said would be the case. If you push out in time, they shouldn't have their warp gate research up quite yet. It'll be close, obviously. He's putting it up right now, but it won't be up right when you get there. And that's just the thing. That's why this can be so effective, is because a lot of Protoss players will hold on to their resources up until the point that that warp gate research finishes, and then they'll warp in units. And that's why they're liable to have a low amount of units early on in the game, because so many Protoss players do go for this warp gate tech because it is very strong. But again, if they are going for that warp gate tech and you do push forward with this really, really early Marauder Marine harassment, you should do very well against them. Now obviously, of course, we are creating reinforcements, and we do have them rally to our opponent's base, and we did in fact drop another barracks down as well. Going to be moving in some Marines as well. This is a little bit of a blunder. We don't want this SCV hanging out doing nothing. Also kind of sitting on a lot of minerals in Vespian. I would at this point maybe start building another factory, or maybe even go for that expansion, because we are harassing so very effectively right now. Basically what we're going to try to do is take down key pylons, take down any units as they're warping in as well. As you can see, we're pushing forward here to try to get some damage on them before they can even do anything about it, because while they're warping in, they obviously can't respond, they can't move around or anything. And it's just the effectiveness of that concussive shell and cutting around the zealots, as well as just how much damage Marauders do to stalkers. It's absolutely ridiculous. It makes this push very, very strong, and as you can see, the Protoss opponent does call good game. So again, taking a look at the strategy, we started off with that 10 supply depot, follow that up with the 12 barracks. While the barracks is building, we did start building our first refinery, getting that refinery saturated as soon as it came up. After we built our 2 Marines, we started to attach the tech lab to our 1 barracks. We had our 2nd barracks building. Once that came up, we attached the tech lab as well. And we want to push out at the point that you have 2 Marines and 2 Marauders, and like I said before, go ahead and try to get 2 SCVs up with you, because getting a bunker in their base is going to help you a ton. Really, really helps that push, really makes it more effective. Obviously, this worked out quite fine for the Terran player, but to even make things more effective, you can go ahead and move out with those double SCVs to try to get some bunkers in their base. So yeah, guys, again, this has been for StarCraft 2 Strategy, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. If you guys like our videos and you like what you see here, please do go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Keep watching and keep owning, guys. Knowing that they're going to be going for that fast stalker, well, what's strong against stalkers? Well, that would be the Marauder. Marauder is very strong versus the stalker. And so in knowing that they're going to be going for that response to the Reaper, we're going to go ahead and switch things up, get that Marauder, which is going to again be strong versus the stalker.